Hey, welcome to your practice. This is a short flow to get you started on your day. 2 blocks if you would like to use props, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Right, Frank? Let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin in child's pose. So walk your feet out, wider than your hips. Take your 2 big toes to touch and sink your hips back to your heels. And for just a moment, start to acknowledge your breathing, the rhythm of your breath, the depth of your breath. Maybe notice where the breath is being held in the body and try to bring that breath into the deepest part of your belly. Maybe rock your forehead from side to side and release any tension in your third eye center or place of perception, or forward thinking part of our mind, where we think about the should haves, the needs tos, the to-do lists, the I could haves. And when we breathe really, really deep, we bring our awareness to the present moment. Because when you breathe as deep as possible, there's no way you can be thinking about doing anything else other than breathing as deep as possible. And maybe there's an intention you'd like to set for your practice today. Take this opportunity to welcome that word or phrase into this practice. And on a next inhalation, come forward into a tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your knees directly underneath your hips. Arc the back, lift the chest, cow pose, interior tilt the pelvis. Exhale to round the spine for cat, look towards the navel. And again, inhale to cow pose, warm up the spine, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, round and contract, tuck the tailbone, look towards the navel. And again, inhale, lift and lengthens, heart forward. And exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, press the shin bones down. Inhale to cow pose, lifting the heart. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a moment, maybe you bend one knee, maybe bend the other knee, just check in with the body and listening to any communication that your body might be sending you. Keep in mind that our body communicates to us through the language of sensation, so just notice how you feel. And ultimately, in the yoga practice, you want to find everything that feels really, really good, even in times of challenge, even in times of discomfort. And look forward, lift your heels really high. Keep your heels and hips high, tiptoe your feet forward to the front of the mat. Come into a standing forward bend. Separate your feet hip bone width apart. Bend your knees so that your ribs and thighs touch. Grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side for ragdoll pose. Letting your head be heavy, your neck be long. This is also a great place to let go of any lingering thoughts or expectations. Maybe give a gentle tug on your elbows to lengthen your lateral side bodies. And take one more sway from right to left. Release your hands down to the ground. Keep a bend in your knees. Slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Feel your bones stack. Take your shoulders back. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Upward hand pose, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips and lead with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips to shins, floor or thighs. Exhale, fold and soften. Release the head and neck. And again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. One more, half lift. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. Exhale, plant your hands, step left leg all the way back. Drop your left knee down to the earth. Take your right hand to your right thigh bone. Sweep that left arm up towards the sky. And so using that right hand for stability, press the thigh bone down. The knee goes towards the big toe. When you're ready, right arm reaches up and over. Grab your left wrist. Lengthen the left side of the body and reach your left fingertips over to the right. Take your right shoulder forward, your left shoulder back. And take another inhale, find length through your left side body from fingertips to ribs, ribs to hips. And then come back to center. Reach both arms up to the sky, deep inhale. Exhale, your hands lower, frame your right foot. Shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Flex your toes to your face. And maybe to go deeper here, you walk your hands forward. If you feel like the floor is far away, you can always bring those blocks underneath your hands. Lengthen on a deep inhalation. And then melt your chest on a deep exhalation. Inhale, shift back forward, right knee, right heel. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees down to the earth, find your tabletop pose. Exhale, child's pose, hips sink back to heels, spine long. Keep your hands firm to the earth, come forward into a modified plank pose. Tuck your toes along the way, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, lower all the way down to the earth, thighs will touch, then the hips, then the navel. Inhale, cobra, tops of your feet down, curl through mid-back, upper back. Exhale, lower your heart down to the ground. Inhale to cobra, look over your right shoulder, squeeze your elbows in. Exhale, lower back down to the earth. Inhale, cobra, look over your left shoulder. Exhale, lower down through center. Inhale, tabletop pose or modified plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up to the sky. Lift your left leg up, deep breath. Bend the left knee, open up your hip. Keep lifting the pubic bone to the navel. And rotate your ankle around in one direction, Parvamukta-asana. Maybe see if you can keep your shoulders in line, pressing your hands down evenly. Rotate your ankle around in the other direction. You can lift your right heel as much as you need and bend that right knee for support if you need that variation. Re-extend your left toes up, spiral the inner thigh up to the sky to get the hip bone down. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your upper back and protract. Inhale, take your left leg back up. And exhale, draw your knee to nose, press the floor away with your hands. Inhale, take your left toes back skyward. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose, step, left foot forward, right knee lowers down. Left hand to your thigh bone, sweep your right arm up and over your head. Bicep alongside the ear, pubic bone lifting, left knee towards the big toe. Inhale, your left arm lifts up and over, grab your right wrist. Exhale, reach your right fingertips over to the left. Take your left shoulder forward, your right shoulder back. Lean back here, find that back bend in your mid-back, upper back if that feels okay for you. Take another big inhale, find length. Stay for your exhale, pull the lowest belly in. Inhale, back to center, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, lower your hands down to the ground. Shift back, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Flex your left toes to your face. Roll your left hip bone down and away from your ribs. And again, if you want to go further here, maybe just walk those hands a little bit more far forward. Find length on your inhalation. Find depth on your exhalation. One more big breath in and big breath out. Inhale, shift forward, left knee over your heel. Exhale, standing forward fold, right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in, soften the knees. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze to the thumbs, keep the low back long. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step your right leg all the way back. And drop your right knee down to the ground. This time reach both arms up to the sky, deep inhalation. Take an open twist to your left, left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, left hand to your low back, maybe to that right hamstring. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees down to the earth, tabletop pose. Exhale, child's pose, arms stay long out in front of you. Inhale, come forward into modified plank, tuck your toes along the way. Exhale, lower all the way down to the earth, thighs, then hips, then navel. Inhale, cobra, curl through mid-back, upper back. Exhale, lower the chest down. Inhale, plank or modified plank pose, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up to the sky. Right leg skyward, deep breath in. Bend the right knee, open up your hip without dumping into the low back. Rotate your ankle around in one direction for 3. Spreading those toes super wide. They might be stuffed in shoes all day for 2. And then rotate your ankle around in the other direction, keeping the shoulders back and away from the ears. The index knuckles pressing down to the earth to protect your wrists, and your hips lifting a little higher than your shoulders. Stretch your right toes back up, point your hip bone down. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round, round, round. Inhale, take your right leg back up. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, protract in the upper back. Inhale, take your right toes high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, step right foot forward, left knee down, both arms skyward, big breath in. Exhale, take an open twist to the right, squeeze inner thighs for stability. Revolve right hand to the sacrum or to the hamstring. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot. Step left foot forward, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold in, release the head and neck. Rise up, deep breath, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, left leg steps all the way back. Plank pose is your inhale. Pick up your right foot as you step it back. Exhale, chaturanga, or lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward facing dog, tuck the toes and lift the hips. Lift left leg high, deep breath in. Use your exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Right foot forward, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in, soften. Inhale to rise, stretch the spine, get as tall as you can. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step right leg all the way back. Inhale, plank pose, left foot picks up and steps back. Exhale, chaturanga, 90-degree angle in the arms. Inhale, upward facing dog, curl and coil the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Lift right leg high, big breath in through your nostrils. Step right foot forward between your hands. Left foot forward, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, rise up, deep inhalation. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. If you jump back, land in those Chaturanga arms. Inhale, upward facing dog, don't miss it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up and back, big breath. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Take your right arm skyward, big inhale, revolve side angle. Lean back on your exhale. Take another big breath, lengthen through your right fingertips. Bend your right elbow and tap that left hip crease on an exhalation. Inhale to rise, revolve crescent, take your left bicep along your ear. Exhale, settle into your foundation, right knee over heel. Breathe in through the left ribs, deep inhalation. Exhale, warrior two, spin your left heel flat, open up. Right knee, right heel. Left inner thigh, pressing the back edge of your left foot down. Inhale to reverse warrior, flip your right palm up to the sky, slide that left hand behind you. Stay for the exhale, find depth in that right knee. Breathe in through your right ribs. Exhale, windmill your arms down to the ground, step back, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga or skip. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left toe skyward, deep breath in. Step left foot forward as you exhale, use your core. Left arm high, deep inhalation, open up. Exhale, lean back. Take another full breath, find another inch or two. And exhale, bend the left elbow, tap that right hip. Squeeze everything your mama gave you, rise all the way up. Stay for the exhale, find depth in your foundation. Find length from the hips up, deep inhalation. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Spin your right heel flat, heel to inner arch alignment. Stretch the fingertips away, big breath. Exhale, soften where there's tension. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm reaches forward and back. Stay for the exhale. Take another deep breath and lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Step back, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, squeeze inner thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. And again, deep inhalation. And deep exhale. One more full round of breath. And exhale. Look forward, lift your heels. Walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Standing forward, fold. Inhale, flat back and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Chair pose, Utkatasana, hips low, arms high. Exhale, arms sweep back, cleansing breath. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, arms sweep back. Last one, deep inhale. Don't be shy, open up the mouth. Have a seat all the way down to the earth. Find your boat pose, Navasana. Squeeze inner thighs. Lift up through the crown of your head. Take another big breath and broaden your collarbones. Exhale, Ardha Navasana, half boat. Pause. Press your low back down to the ground. Turn your toes out, keep your heels together, and like there's no place like home, click your heels. Lift chin away from your neck. If you feel like you're shaking, lift your legs up higher so that way you can find that place between not enough and too much. We're here for 5. Breathe in, breathe out for 4, 3, 2. This is really challenging, so if it's challenging for you, it's because it is. And 1. Lift up, deep inhalation. Bend the knees, plant your feet down to the floor, feet hip on width apart, 2 big toes forward. Take your hands behind you, index fingers pointing toward your bum, thumbs point in. Lift your shoulders up, take them back, lock them into the shoulder girdle. Ardha Purvottanasana, reverse tabletop, lift your hips up off the ground. Be mindful of not throwing your head back, as opposed to throwing your head back, draw your ears back in line with your shoulders. Press the inner edges of your hands down, lift your chest up a little higher. Take another big breath in, and then exhale, lower your hips all the way down to the earth. Inhale, boat pose, Navasana. Exhale, Ardha Navasana, half boat. Inhale, lift up, deep breath. Exhale, plant your feet, plant your hands behind you. Inhale, reverse tabletop, lift your hips, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, lower those hips down to the ground. 2 more. Inhale, boat pose, Navasana. Keep the knees bent if you need. Exhale, Ardha Navasana, half boat. Inhale, lift up, deep breath. Exhale, plant your feet, plant your hands behind you. Inhale, reverse tabletop, lift your hips, lift the chest. Exhale, lower those hips down to the earth. Unamas, deep breath, lift your legs, pull the navel in. Exhale, low back presses down to the ground. Inhale, lift up, deep breath. Exhale, plant your feet, plant your hands behind you. Last time, reverse tabletop, big inhalation. Exhale, lower your hips down to the ground. Lift your legs, inhale. Cross your ankles, plant your hands, step or float it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift your heels up really high. Exhale, drop your heels over to the left. Look at your left arm real quick. Rotate the eye of your left elbow forward. Take your right arm up to the sky, Vashisthasana. So your feet can stay like little windshield wipers. You can step your right foot in front of your left thigh if you'd like to. You can stack your heels. Be mindful of this top hip rolling open. That puts unnecessary pressure on the bottom shoulder. So keep right hip bone pointing forward. Keep pressing left hand down and forward like a little kickstand. If you're with me, take your right bicep along your ear. Turn your palm down towards the ground. Exhale, bend your knees, tap your right thigh. Inhale to lengthen, option to keep your feet the same, maybe modify. Exhale, bend your knees, tap the thigh. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, grab your right leg, step all the way forward. Left heel flat, warrior 1, deep breath in, reach both arms high. Stay for your exhale. Arms can be shoulder bone width apart, palms can be touching. Take another deep breath in and bring your hands behind the back, interlace your fingers. Lift your chest, full breath. Stand strong in your right foot, warrior three. Pick your left toes up off the ground. Bend your standing leg as much as you need to for buoyancy and balance. And so here, the left leg is working as a team. Use the calf, the hamstring, and the glute to lift that left leg a little higher. Use your shoulder blades to press your heart a little bit more forward. Come all the way up, left knee to your chest. Reach both arms up to the sky. Deep inhale. Take an open twist to your left on your exhale. Pause here, right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Press your hand into your leg, leg into hand for a little bit more leverage. Take another big breath in. On an exhale, bend your standing leg, half moon pose. Left leg goes all the way back. Right fingertips down to the earth, maybe to a block. Flex left toes to face, lift pubic bone so you're not dumping into that low back. Take another big inhale here. Stay for your exhale, lift your chin away from your chest. One more big breath. Exhale to a Shiva squat. Left knee taps the back of your right calf. Left hand comes underneath your shoulder. Standing split, deep breath in, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale back to Shiva squat, sit down as low as you can. Inhale, standing split, lift left leg back up. And exhale, Shiva squat, sit low. Inhale, lift your left leg back up to the sky, listen carefully. Exhale, step your left leg back, left heel flat. Warrior one again, deep breath in, reach both arms up to the sky. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Lift your chest, deep inhale. Exhale, bow to the inside of your right leg. Giving our hip a little bit of love. Squeezing that right hip back, allow your head to relax, your neck to relax, your shoulders pull back. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Press down through the feet, rise up, warrior one, big inhale. Exhale, lower your hands down to the ground. Frame the right foot. Plank pose, right foot steps back to meet the left. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Sweep your arms back by your side. Turn your palms in toward your hips. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Peel your chest up off the earth. If it feels okay for your low back, pick up your feet, your shins, your knees, and your quads. Deep inhale, keep a space between the teeth. Deep exhale, maybe lift the pinky edges of your hands a little higher. One more big breath in. And exhale, lower down all the way. Slide hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Press up, plank pose. Take your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. And again, inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath. And exhale. Lift your heels really high, deep breath. Drop your heels up and over to the right. Make sure that eye of your elbow rotates the right index finger. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Option to stay here. You can use that kickstand if you'd like. You can stack your heels. Be mindful of that hip rolling open. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze to keep that hip bone pointing forward. Take another big inhale. Press that right hand down and forward. And stay for your exhale. Lift your left bicep alongside of your ear. Big breath. Exhale, bend your knees, tap your left thigh. Inhale to lengthen if you're modifying, that foot's in front. Exhale, bend your knees, tap the thigh. Inhale to lengthen, deep breath. Exhale, bend your knees. This time, grab your left leg, step it all the way forward. Right heel flat, warrior one. Deep breath in, reach both arms up to the sky. Stay here for your exhale, soften the shoulders. Deep breath in, pull the lowest belly in. Exhale, take your hands behind the back, interlace your fingers. Lift your chest, big breath in. Stand strong in your left foot, warrior three. Pick your right toes up off the ground. Spiral right inner thigh up, point your hip bone down. Maybe turn your right ribs a little bit more to your left, and then use your shoulder blades to press your heart forward. Deep breath in, stretch your toes away from the crown of your head, and then stay for your exhale. Take another big inhale. Slowly come all the way up. Draw your right knee to your chest, contract. Reach your arms up to the sky, full breath in. Take an open twist to your right, left hand to the outside of your thigh.
Right fingertips reach to the back of the room. Keep lifting up to the crown of your head and keep twisting a little bit more from the torso. Take another deep inhalation. Bend your standing leg, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Left hand down, right leg kicks back. Find as much extension from the left hip crease to armpit. Lift chin away from your chest and lean back here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep inhale, lean back, chin away from your chest. Exhale to a Shiva squat. Right hand comes down, right knee taps the back of your left calf. Inhale back to a standing split. Lift your right leg high. Exhale to a Shiva squat, strengthening into that left hip. Inhale, power through the center of your left foot. Extend the right leg. Exhale, Shiva squat. Sit as low as you can. Inhale, take your right leg back up to the sky. Exhale, step your right leg back, spin the right heel flat. Warrior one, big inhale. Hands behind the back again, interlace your fingers. Lift your chest, deep breath. Exhale, bow to the inside of your left leg. Press your arm into your leg into your arm, and keep engaging that right inner thigh to press the pinky side edge of that foot down. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Rise back up, warrior one, deep breath in, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, lower your hands down to the earth. Plank pose, pick up your left leg as you step it back. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Slide your hands back behind you. This time, interlace your fingers. You can find reverse prayer if that's in your practice. Bend your knees, flex your feet. Lift your shoulders, roll them back and roll them down. Option to pick your knees up off the earth for 3. Strengthening your mid-back, upper back, and stretching your spine. For 2, if you feel any compression or discomfort in your low back, release immediately. Take another big inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, lower everything down. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, press up, plank pose. Take your hips back, downward facing dog. Look to the center of your mat, lift your heels. Bend your knees, hop your feet to the center of your mat, cross your favorite ankle on top. Walk your hands back, shoot your legs forward, have a seat down to the ground. Slowly come onto your backs, bending your knees along the way. Cross your right shin over your left thigh. Option to stay just like this. Option 2, draw your left thigh bone in towards your chest. Right hand goes to the inside of your leg, left hand reaches around, interlace your fingers. And just take a moment to breathe. And so though this was a quick practice, we want to make sure that we recognize that every single moment of our life is just as part of our yoga practice as the last 30 minutes. And that these yoga postures give us the opportunity to see who we are in times of challenge, in times of change, in times when we're short on time. Connecting us deeper and deeper to a place of awareness and consciousness. Keep your figure 4 in your legs, cactus out your arms. Drop your left knee to the left, your right foot down to the ground. So think figure 4 with a little bit of a twist. If there's a different variation of a supine twist, please explore that. And if you notice, sometimes when the practice starts to slow down, the mind will try to manipulate you into thinking that you need to think of those to-do lists. And so it's really important to keep your awareness on your breathing. And you can use that as a tool also when you're off of your mat. In moments that you might be in fear and you keep thinking about what an outcome might be. Or maybe you keep thinking about the past. Look at each moment as your foundation for your future. And what we do now in this moment sets us up for the next. Bring your legs back to center. Uncross your right leg, place that sole of your foot down to the ground. Take your left shin, cross it over your right thigh. Option to stay here. Option 2, draw your right thigh bone to your chest. You can take your left hand through that opening between your inner thighs. Maybe that right hand meets behind the hamstring. And breathe as deep as possible. I always remind people that if you do the harder things in life, if you work really, really hard, you must rest really, really hard. So if you took the time to do the challenging postures on our mat today, make sure you're taking the time to do the more softer postures so we can have a little bit of balance in our life. And we call that the sira and the sukha, the effort, the ease, the strength, the softness. And cactus out your arms. Shift your hips up and over to the left. Let your right knee fall to the right, your left foot go down to the earth. Your gaze can be up. It can look over either shoulder, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Take a moment to come back to your intention that you set, if you did at the beginning of practice. And as the practice continues off of our mat and into our lives, maybe you use this intention in moments of challenge and change, maybe when the outcome isn't how we want or expect things to be. Even in moments of happiness, in moments of gratitude, in moments of stillness. And bring your legs back to center. And cross your left foot from your right thigh. Bring both knees towards your chest. Reach up, grab the outside edges of your feet for happy baby. And rock from side to side. And maybe you straighten a leg. Maybe you straighten another leg. You can flutter out your lips. Just soften your face. And when you're ready, lower down for your Shavasana. One leg extends, followed by the other. Turn your palms up to the sky. Allow your brain to fall to the back of your skull. Your tongue fall to the back of your throat. And your breath carry you to a place of restful awareness and peace.